Hello, craft beer friends, and welcome to Season 11, Episode 25 of Tap to Craft Podcast. I am Denny Luce, coming to you from Boise, Idaho, and my partner in craft, the dog whisperer, and my favorite Florida man from Tampa, Florida, Mr. Kris McKenzie. How the heck are you doing tonight, Kris? And please introduce our guest.
Denny, I'm going live here, just changing windows and stuff. But man, I'm doing pretty damn good this evening. Get
Okay.
excited to try out some beers and click the right buttons here. It's talking in the background. Here we go. I'm a professional. Got it. But I'm doing really well, and I'm excited to welcome our guest onto the show this evening. We've got Bill Childress from Southern Prohibition Brewing out in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And Bill is going to talk to us about his craft beer journey and a couple of beers that they make. And we're excited to have you on, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Of course, excited to be here.
Yeah,
We're-
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say we were informed that we are Bill's first podcast, so it's another
Yeah, so
another cherry that we get here, folks.
yeah, we'll take it easy. We'll take it easy on you, Bill. Don't worry. Don't worry. But yeah, we're excited to talk about Mississippi beer. You are our first Mississippi brewery we've had on. We've had a lot of different states throughout the country, and now we finally got Mississippi to learn about the beer there. I'm trying to think if I even had any Mississippi beers, but I don't. I may not have. This may be my first Mississippi beers we'll be drinking on the show. So I appreciate that you guys were kind enough to send Kris and I both several beers to try on the show and to drink in our personal time as well. So, yeah, well, you know what? Let's just get this show started. But before we get too far into the show, we always like to introduce, or this is gonna be one of those shows.
Are you wasted
We
already?
always
Come
like,
on.
yeah, we always like to let anyone new listening to Tap to Craft Podcast know what we're all about. We are an educational podcast focused around celebrating all things craft beer because we want to assist you, our listener, along in your craft beer journey and adventures. And you're listening to episode 285, recording on Monday, June 23rd, 2025. We are live on Facebook, and if you'd like to join us during our recording session sometime, you can do that on the Monday prior to release at 8:30 Eastern Time. And in this episode, we will be learning all about Southern Prohibition Brewing, as Kris mentioned, out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, with Bill Childress, who is the production manager at the brewery, and as well as doing 3 beer tastings from Southern Prohibition Brewing, So Pro, I guess is the way
That's what the cool
that
kids call it, I hear.
is that what everyone calls it, So Pro?
Yeah, that's what we've kind of over the years they've shortened it. So
I
Yeah.
would. That's a lot of syllables.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a lot of syllables, and So Pro just rolls off your tongue really
mm,
easy. But we'll be enjoying those beers, doing some tastings, as well as having some great beer conversation. And you know what? Our glasses are empty, so let's fill these glasses up and do our first beer tasting. And this will be the Suzy B Blonde Ale. That is a 5% ABV, 20 IBU beer. So, Bill, why don't you go ahead and tell us about the Suzy B, what this beer is all about?
so Suzy B, this is the first beer, the OG since when they opened. We've been
Okay.
brewing it since then, 2013. It's gone through, some iterations over the years, but kind of maybe a little bit different than some of your blondes. We have a little bit of wheat in there, a little flaked wheat, so it's got a
Okay.
little bit of a softer mouthfeel,
Yeah.
a little bit of a kind of citrus on there. But
Okay.
yeah, pretty easy drinking.
All right. Well, I do appreciate people changing up the blonde a little bit to make it a little bit more, you know, special.
Yeah, we have a lager on tap, so anybody kind of getting over from the macro scene to over
Hmm.
here, we can offer a lager, and this kind of just differentiates it a little bit more from that
Yeah.
lager to a blonde.
All right. So we definitely get the maltiness in there with that little and it is a very pleasant, nice little juicy citrus, like kind of like a yeah, like a juicy citrus aroma in there as well, just a little bit in there. Looks beautiful, nice. I didn't pour too aggressively, but it still has a nice head on there, so it's got nice
And that head's sticking around a
protein.
lot too. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, the aroma is really nice. Okay, uh, it looks like it might be a little bit, maybe it's, I don't know if it's just cloudy because of the chill, or it might be a little bit, not, you can't see through it, but it's not opaque.
Yeah, we got a little bit of white wheat and flake wheat in there, so
Yeah, so it's, and you don't filter it out. You just leave it in there to give you
well, we
that.
do run it through. We have a centrifuge, so we run it
Oh,
through
okay.
the centrifuge, but it's still,
Okay.
it stays in there.
All right, Kris, you want to take a sip? Or you
Let's
already
do
did?
it. No,
All right.
I sit and wait patiently. I really am just lawnmower beer.
Yeah, it tastes. I mean, it goes down. It definitely is. It's yeah. It's. I'll tell you what. Blonde ales are usually not my favorite because they usually don't have, a lot of. You get the maltiness in there, but sometimes it can be a little bit
Too
thicker
malty.
and too
No,
malty.
but this isn't. This is actually
This isn't. This one is actually balanced a bit better because, like you said, you put that citrus hop character in there, so you get the malty, you get that smooth body. Mouthfeel is nice. It's refreshing.
and it's really bright too.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
flavors aren't kind of dull and I don't want to call them diluted, but like the citrus is subtle, but it's also shine. I mean, look at me with all the adjectives today. It's a really bright flavor, like it stands out. Dan Winch is on with us, or we would call him Batman Dan. They're in Hattiesburg, Dan. But yeah, very, very good blonde.
Yeah, this is a summer drinker right here, right? This is like Kris
Beach
mentioned.
beer.
It's kind of a lawnmower beer or beach beer, lawnmower
Hmm.
beer, a beer that you take a sip and you want to take another sip. That's a sign of a beer that people like is you take a sip and you just without even thinking you take another sip because it's easy drinking and it tastes good and before you know it you're drinking a six pack. But yeah, this is a good blonde.
Thank you.
Well, while we're finishing this one up, Bill, what was in the can you were drinking?
Uh,
What's in your glass this evening?
this is a hoppy red ale from Pipeworks.
From Pipeworks? Very nice.
Yeah, luckily, there's a guy, I guess, who works there, has some family down here, and he was traveling down here and was kind enough to drop some beer off to us.
Oh, nice.
And it's a hoppy red ale too.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with that. Well, I mean, you could, but not from Pipeworks, I'd hope.
yeah, tasting pretty good.
Okay, so you mentioned Suzy B is like the flagship. Well, was the first beer that they were really putting out? Is this like their flagship? Is this a beer that you sell the most of?
No, actually,
No, it's
Crowd
IPA, right?
Control. Yeah, Crowd Control is definitely our.
It's the double
Yeah.
IPA.
And man, we got the
Okay,
fresh ones. This is May 28th was the date on the bottom of this can.
that's good because
Gives you
yeah,
guys some brownie points.
it rolled right off because we got it. Yeah, we got it a week ago, so
Yeah,
that's
give or
not bad.
take.
Yeah, nice job. All right, well, hey, this is a blonde I can dig into and enjoy. It's not just like a plain Jane. This has actually got
No, it's Suzy.
some highlights in the blonde. So very well done, very well done. All right, anything else to say on that, Kris?
Um, I, no, I mean nothing else to add to it. I was surprised I got out as much as I did.
You did,
It's
you
not.
did good.
It's kind of out of character for me. Here, I'll do
Wow.
it normal. It's good. I like it. I'd have it again.
All right, so I did write down what let's see what you had on the website or was it website or maybe Untapped. An easy drinker yet full of flavor. Our unfiltered ale is perfect for any occasion. This dirty blonde has a nice malt backbone. Agreed. Balanced bitterness. I have to agree with that too because it definitely doesn't have a lot of sweetness in there. It definitely balances out that malt really well and gives it a really balanced beer. And set apart by its pleasant hop aroma from our hop back. And the hop aroma is there. You can definitely smell it, and you can definitely taste it. And it almost feels like this is almost like a Kolsch kind of style. It has some characteristics as a Kolsch as well. It's really good. All right, Bill. I told you we're going to put you in the hot seat, and we're going to start that off by talking about your craft beer journey. And we love to hear about people's craft beer origin stories, how they discovered craft beer. So how did you discover craft beer? And if you remember, what was the gateway beer, the gateway craft beer that got you into enjoying beers other than the macro production brews?
So probably about 2011, I graduated college. So even back then, yeah, Mississippi had an alcohol cap of like 5%. So we couldn't get any of the good beers. I really didn't know what craft beer was.
Yeah.
I had an occasional Heineken, but that was about
Oh
it.
yeah. Yeah.
So then, yeah, after I graduated college, moved to Louisiana, and then
Oh.
kind of that's where it kind of started. They had a Abita Brewing, still big popular over there. So kind
Mhm.
of got into their amber and their raspberry lager, and then just kind of worked your way up to IPA
Okay.
and such. But they had
Yeah.
definitely a much better selection of what they could get over there.
Hmm. Yeah. Abita was definitely big, especially back there in 2000, in 2011. Is it still? I mean, I'm assuming it's still pretty big in the South.
Oh yeah,
Abita
yeah, they're
still.
still doing a lot of distro and whatnot. So yeah, they're still going.
Yeah, we
Okay.
see plenty of it in Florida. I don't know how much of it sells, but we see plenty of it in Florida. I mean, it sounded like you got in kind of a little bit of everything. Like you started into
Mhm.
Heineken and then you were like leaning on that amber and then kind of got a little in the fruit beers too. I mean, do you have a favorite beer style or you have like a go-to?
Uh, I mean, probably back then I definitely was in IPAs, and then kind of lately it's definitely been lagers.
Okay. What made you change over to the loggers?
Uh, I don't know. I guess kind of working, yeah, working in the brewery.
Hmm.
We're down here in Mississippi. It's hot, so
Hmm.
you get off of work, you're hot, and you just kind of want something nice, easy, refreshing,
Yeah.
uh, and not something kind of high alcohol and kind of heavy. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that my experience. I've been drinking craft beer for many decades, and my early craft beer journey, some of the craft lagers were really good, but it was far and few in between, right? They didn't want to use that tank space to do lagers and then not have enough to brew other stuff and ferment it. And then it went through a lull where either craft breweries weren't really putting out lagers, or if they were doing lagers, they just weren't that great of lagers. And I kind of got turned off to the craft lager. I still always enjoyed German lagers, but I wasn't really into the craft beer, the American craft beer lagers. And then within the last probably 3 years, I'll say the American craft beer scenes, the brewers learned how to brew really good beers because they were going over and learning to brew them from Germany and coming over and bringing the experience, or I don't know what happened, but now there are so many good craft beer lagers out there that I'm the same way. I went 10 years where all I drank was the most hoppy, bitter beers I could find, and then I did that downward curve and went back to my roots, and now I drink probably. Well, if you look at my Untapped thing, you would say that I'm not drinking as much lagers as IPA, but in reality, I don't. I only log the beers in once, and I drink a lot of beers on my normal thing that are lagers or and not IPA. So that's probably why my Untapped says different. But yeah, that's good. Lagers are great. So, Bill, is there a style that you disliked at first but have since grown to enjoy?
probably IPAs.
Oh.
Kind of back then when they started, it was the IBU wars and how can you make it as
Hmm.
bitter as you can and kind of can wreck your palate and kind of not
Yeah.
use that. And then you kind of kept drinking them, kept trying different ones, and then you kind of acquire a taste for them. And then as things have recently changed with hazies and all that, it's kind of
Hmm.
just totally different.
Okay. Do you remember the IPAs that got you kind of like enjoying an IPA? Which one was the one that said, "Wow, you know what? I kind of like these bitter things."
Definitely drank a lot of Stone, kind of the
Oh yeah.
original, 2012, 2013,
Hmm.
Harpoon, uh, you know, those right there. Some of the Rogue, I know River Rogue Yellow Snow was a really
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah, I've got the
where's the
bottle
bottle,
over
Denny?
here. Yeah, we were talking about it. Now I pinpointed, but I'm not going to reach over there and grab it. But yeah, yellow snow. That's that's going back. That's going back away. I don't even know if they still make yellow snow.
No, I don't think they do.
Yeah,
Does
that was
Rogue
a
even
classic.
exist anymore?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
they still exist. Yeah,
I
yeah. It's
know.
just they just pulled back a little bit and not they when they got smart and decided to pull back and not extend themselves too much. But I'm sure they're probably still distributing. Are they just is Rogue like where can you get Rogue in Mississippi right now?
Uh, I don't think so. I haven't seen it on any shelves in a while.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
maybe Dead Guy. Uh,
Yeah.
I think we can still get that, but it's not definitely not the variety of when you
yeah,
yeah shelf full of 22-ounce bombers and
yeah,
not
yeah. Yeah, even here in Boise, we used to have. I mean, Rogue was it was even before before Stone and Lagunitas came in the early 2000s to my area. It was Rogue, and Rogue had like one of the most shelf space in our grocery stores. And now, like you said, you'll see a Dead Guy and maybe a Honey Kolsch or something that they'll have, and they'll bring in a rotator in. Actually, we might get Bat Squatch too. I think that one comes in,
Oh
and
yeah,
but
we do get a lot of them, at
yeah,
least down
but they wrote,
here.
but not, but we would have like 10 different Rogue options, and now you get maybe two or three because they really kind of scaled down. And plus, it's we're going to talk about a little later that there's a lot of craft breweries out there, and everyone's fighting for that shelf space. Back in the late, well, definitely in the late 1990s and early 2000s, uh, you know, there weren't that many options that were bottling, packaging, and getting them out, outside of their local area. So Rogue was one of them. Lagunitas, Stone, New Belgium, Sam, of
yeah.
course, Sam Adams. Those all were branching out and moving out and becoming large regional breweries.
Yeah, I was in Louisiana whenever Fat Tire
Yeah.
grew and they finally got distribution into there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's funny, our listener Dan, who's over in Alabama, he's like, we don't get Rogue here anymore. We get it in Florida, you guys get it in Mississippi, but they skip over Alabama. So, well, like Denny said, there's so many different breweries out there fighting for shelf space and things like that. So, Bill, what's a brewery or a beer that you think doesn't get enough love?
I think probably Belgian beers. You don't
Yeah.
see, you see the Belgian triple and the
Mm-hmm.
Belgian strong, but you don't really see too many like Belgian singles or uh,
Never see a single.
No.
And doubles are rare, which I
yeah.
think there needs to be more doubles out there because doubles is like one of my favorite Belgian style. Just I love the fact that it's just got that maltiness and uh, and it's got good flavor, but it's not too heavy and doesn't have too much of the Belgian yeasty esters that kind of turn some people off. It's like a good balanced one, and I wish I had more of the doubles.
Yeah, those and saisons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's got to be the
saisons are
right one
nice
though.
too. Yeah, no, I agree. Belgian beers, for one thing, I always ask breweries when I go and visit them, well, how come you don't have any Belgian beers? And one of the reasons is because it's hard to maintain your yeast, you know, collection,
Hmm.
and it's very expensive to have too many yeast sources or whatever that you're maintaining to keep healthy in a brewery. So they pretty much focus on one or two and do that. And of course, Belgian is not going to be one of those money makers that's worth investing in that yeast and keeping that yeast healthy and going and brewing beers because they just don't sell as much. And I think you need to have. I think the breweries that do it well are ones that kind of focus on that European beer styles. They brew up, English ales. They brew up some German and some Belgian. They kind of keep it in that region. They can maintain, yeast that can kind of play in that whole realm. But people that are focused on IPAs sours and such, they're not able to, maintain 4 or 5 different yeast, whatever they call it. I'm drawing a blank, but that
Catalog.
becomes, yeah, a catalog. And you don't think about that as a drinker. We just drink the beer and we say, well, I can't just brew more. As a home brewer, you're doing a small batch, but as a batch that you need to maintain, 15 barrels worth of of fermentation, yeast to ferment that becomes a lot more expensive endeavor.
Yeah. We have a house yeast that pretty much goes into everything we brew.
Everything.
It's versatile.
Yeah.
And then once we get a couple lagers, we try to line up a couple lagers to be able to get one pitch and then brew a couple beers from that one pitch. Yeah, just to help save on the cost side.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's gotta be smart. Gotta be smart. All right. One last question on your craft beer journey. So is there a brewery, a beer, or a beer style that is no longer around that you wish would make a comeback?
I really like the white IPAs. You don't really
Okay.
see too many of those. You know, yeah, get a little bit of that. The cross between a little IPA and
And
uh,
the wit,
the wit beer, a little coriander, a little
yeah,
orange.
the coriander. Yeah.
Uh,
Is there one that you enjoyed? I know that New Belgium had one that was
that's
pretty good.
yeah. I drank that one a lot.
Yeah.
Probably 2017, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that one. Brewed, one or two.
Okay.
One or two myself. Uh, and yeah, you don't really see, those kind of came and went.
Yeah.
Breweries.
Yeah.
Well, you're kind of the
Yeah, that's a
opposite of
good one.
Denny. Denny loves the black IPAs.
Yeah, yeah. I do. I was a huge fan when they first showed up, but the problem when they first showed up is nobody knew how to brew them, and so they were just like a wide variety of different ones, and until you found the one that was like the right one that wasn't just a IPA that had a little dark malt in there. It was a good combination of an IPA that had, well, actually, that's just it. I want an IPA that has the coloring and just a little bit of that roasted malt in there, but not enough to make it too malty, right? And that's the one I really like. But they would make them like stouts that were. I mean, my friend John, who was on a co-host before Kris came on board, he always said that it's just American stout that's just been higher bit hop level in there, and I'm like, no, it's not that. I don't want full stout with hops. I want IPA with some of the stout character. But now when breweries make them now, they're making them really, like, a lot of breweries are making them very similar, and they're making them exactly the way I like them. So I've been sucking up the black IPAs lately.
Yeah.
Is that a style you enjoy, or you don't like? You just like the more?
Yeah, I like them. We actually we talked about doing one for our anniversary in May, but then
Oh,
we have one that we've done before called Sinister Minister. But I think we were going to hold off and do that one for Halloween.
okay,
So
nice.
it'd be a little
Be a
more
good
fitting.
Halloween beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, guess what, Bill? You made it through, and I think you did a great job. Answered all our questions really well. You even had a few answers that I don't think we've heard before. So I love it when we get fresh answers from people that don't, because the white IPA, first time anyone's ever said the white IPA. So you're top on the list for white IPA styles coming back. And I'm glad you didn't say brewed IPA because I'm not.
No one has said brewed IPA, Denny. That went away for good damn reason.
And oh wait, and I'm going to sidetrack again. I'm sad to see that the cold IPA is not. It kind of faded away. You don't see the cold IPA anymore because I did enjoy that variance of IPA. I thought that those were. I've had 20 or 30 of them, and there's only been like one that I didn't like. All of them have been like done really well. So it's a style that seems to be easy to create and make good ones if you know the right recipe and technique to use. So All right. Well, I haven't finished my. You finished your beer yet, Kris?
What are you doing?
I know. I've been talking.
Stop running your
So,
mouth, flapping your gums, have a
all
little
right.
sippy sip.
Well, let me finish this beer
Well, I
so
tell you
we
what,
can.
you
Yeah.
finish your beer. I'm gonna talk about our Patreon supporters. Okay? So this episode is brought to you in part by our satisfied Patreon supporters like Mike Allen, Bill Schlemmer, Amanda and Kevin Argauer, Mike Blanchard, Tara Carlson, and Jim Kudzall, and Alex Fuchs and Eric Scotty Ward, who are our virtual producers. And Tom Byrne, Jeff Seiler, Johan Hallberg, Chad Lamassa, Mark Church, Eric Gronley, and Batman Dan and Batgirl Jesse, who want to buy us a virtual beer. If you enjoy the content we provide, we invite you to support the show by toasting your host or buying us a virtual beer or even being a virtual producer. You can explore the options on our support page by visiting patreon.com/tapthecraft.
Well done,
Not
Kris.
bad for my first time. That was
First time you've done
great.
that. You did great. You did great. Okay, so now, Bill, now we can go into our second beer tasting, and this will be Dogs Manipulating Time, sour ale with hibiscus, pineapple, and lime. Which I'm intrigued by this because I do enjoy all those flavors. So I'm really looking forward to trying this sour. It comes in at 5.4% ABV. It's a sour ale with hibiscus, pineapple, and lime. Who would have guessed?
I'm just excited that I can take the label off of this one.
Oh,
Yeah. And where the hell
it's
the
a
name?
dog.
Yeah, that's why it's called
It's a
Dogs
dog, right? Oh, yeah.
Manipulating Time.
Is that why it's called Dogs Manipulating Time?
Yeah, because there's a dog on it. Where the hell did the name come from, first off?
Yeah, that's a good
Kind of
question.
one of our brewers.
It's like, was everybody just schmammered one night and they were like, dogs, they manipulate time. You pet them and just all the time disappears.
Yeah. Well, so originally when we were doing this, there was going to be kind of a rotating series, and it was going to be different dogs, and kind of like a seasonal thing, and yeah, different dog for different labels.
That's purty.
But yeah, we'll call it DMT for short.
Okay. Yeah, well, depends on who you talk to. That might weird some people out too. A little bit of DMT, never hurt nobody.
Little DMT. All right. So definitely see the hibiscus in this.
Yep, hibiscus is definitely in this beer.
I think my beer
Yeah,
glass
we
needs to
definitely
be a
went
little
through
cleaner.
a few iterations on kind of how to get the best color out of the hibiscus.
Yeah, you did good. I love the color. I think everyone would enjoy that. The aroma, lime. I get.
Yep. There's
I
some
get the lime on
sweetness
there.
in there too. I mean, I smell a little sweet in there.
Yeah, there might be undertones of
You can smell that
sweetness
pineapple a little
of the
bit.
pineapple. But man, you're right. There's a mixture of lime and pineapple, but the lime came up the strongest, which I appreciate. I appreciate a good lime. All right, so what inspired this beer to be produced? Were you having people coming in and saying, is this the first sour that you produced, or did you do other sours? How did this come about? I guess.
No, we've done a bunch of sours before. One we used to have in production was called Icebox, which is just a lime, a lime sour.
Okay.
And then they just kind of stopped producing that. We really didn't have a year-round sour on tap. So then we just kind of was like 2 years ago decided, try to get something back as a core for a sour. Just
Okay.
fill that niche.
Okay.
And that's kind of, we had two different ones going. We had this one, then we had a Paloma style Goza. But then this one definitely kind of won out as far as what more people were buying. So then we kept with this one.
Okay. What is the base? Is the base beer just a kettle sour, or is it was it Goza based, or
Just a kettle sour.
okay?
Yeah. So your normal 2-row white wheat, maybe a little flaked oats.
Okay.
And then there's a little maltodextrin in there just to kind of add a little bit of kind of sweetness to it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. We need a little sweetness because I like tartness, not like strict sour. So that's good. I'm glad we have.
You're gonna like this one.
I know I'm gonna like it because already I haven't had a sip yet, but I love the coloring. You guys nailed the color. The aroma, I can't get enough smell in this beer. It just smells fantastic. So you hit it on the nose. on the aroma and the color. So now let's take a sip. And Kris, you've already taken a sip. You can go ahead and talk about what you tasted.
So I'm gonna do it again. So I like the way all the flavors play together because at least from what I'm getting, it starts out with, you get the lime up front and then kind of the pineapple shows up a little bit and then a little bit of kind of the hibiscus, like I don't call hibiscus like a tart, but it's kind of like it's a little pop in the back. Is kind of how it works in the
a little floral.
yeah, but very kind of all the I said this earlier, all the flavors play really well together.
Mm-hmm.
And I would pineapple and lime, I would say, oh yeah, absolutely. But adding the hibiscus to it was a really nice touch too. And this is another beer I could drink plenty of by the beach, cutting the grass, just hanging out for the day. Like,
Yeah.
you know what? For the guys over at Barkyard, guys, you could get Wisconsin sober on this one too.
Okay. I agree with Kris. You definitely can taste at different moments as you drink. You can taste the different flavors. And I love the fact that it is not like acid burning a hole in my
Yes.
in my throat. In fact, it doesn't have any negative acidic character. It has the tartness, but the tartness actually does it kind of it comes up and then fades off really nice. So you are ready to take another sip. Kris mentioned drinkable, super drinkable, even for someone that we hear a lot of people that just don't like sours. And this is a sour I think people could enjoy because the lime is not too. When you smell it, you think, "Ooh, it might be a bit limey," but it blends in really well with the other flavors in there. So yeah, this is just a damn tasty beer as well.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we usually get a good bit of feedback on tastings and festivals and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
People surprised.
Well, I
Yeah.
think too, if I can't say I've only been to Mississippi, but one time, and it was a quick run in from Louisiana, grabbed some lunch, and then turned around and went home. So we really haven't explored a whole lot in the state. But like, you guys have similar weather to what we have here in Florida. It's hot, it's humid. I mean, it's just dumb hot outside right now. And this would be really, really good to be having just hanging out outside, but also if you're having this as one of the selections at a festival or
Yeah.
a tasting event, man, this is going to be a little different than just about anything that's out there because most people at beer events they're bringing their IPAs, they're bringing their stouts, they're bringing I see some of them they bring their barrel aged stuff. For this is a nice refreshing change over what you might find at a beer event.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've cut back on I used to drink a lot of sours, and I cut back on them because my stomach couldn't handle it. Right, I already have issues with acid reflux that I try to maintain, and I drink a sour beer and it just wants to burp up and just burn my throat. So I've kind of cut back in the last 5 years, but I'll tell you that I know that. Oh, now I'm burping. There's so many people that just kind of poo-poo the kettle sour. But what I like about the kettle sour is that a lot of times it doesn't have that harsh, acidicness that the
Any more traditional?
the traditional bacterial ones do, and I can drink it without feeling like, okay, now I need to go take some Tums, or I'm going to be upset all night. And again, this one is, really smooth. I don't even have any coating on my teeth that feels like I need to go and, like I just threw up and I got acid all over my teeth. No, I don't have any of that stuff. These are all positive things about drinking sours. I think a lot of people who have experienced stuff in the past and with the all the other bugs that made the sour, that they just got too acidic and they don't like that pickle acid stuff.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is really good.
Thank you. Yeah, the acetic acid can kind of get get a little too much, get a little vinegary, and they can turn you off.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. Wow. Okay. I've already drank almost all of that. I want to make sure I have a little bit to drink during the brew buzz. So, anything more to say, Kris, before we go into the brew buzz?
I think Dan Winch needs to get some of this.
Okay.
He doesn't like
Dan,
he doesn't like sour beers, and he's like, it sounds like one I would like. I told him it was right there with that 92 Subaru that we had the other day. And not super tart.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Little on the it's got a little bit of sweetness in it, and he's like, no, what he said, no acid sounds like a sour I would like. Yeah, I think you would. I think you would.
Yeah, we had some Alabama beer from Yellowhammer. Have you heard of Yellowhammer?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the 92 Subaru pineapple. What was that?
Pineapple cherry sour.
Cherry. Oh yeah. And I'll tell you what, they did it just like what you guys did. It just was enough of of everything that was just made it really easy to drink and really good. And you get Okay, I don't want enough of that. Let's get into the brew buzz.
Okay.
So the brew buzz is devoted to discussing various beer-related topics. This week we're going to learn all about Southern Prohibition Brewing. So Southern Prohibition Brewing is, I'm going to read this from your website. You can, if there's anything wrong, let me know. Is an employee-owned company started by an educated brewer, Quinby Chun, who began as a manufacturing-only brewery in Hattiesburg, Mississippi in 2013. And in 2016, he championed new legislation along with other Mississippi breweries to allow restricted amounts of on-site sales in your Hattiesburg tap room. So we're going to start this conversation off with finding out about, let our listeners who are around the country and around the world understand in more detail about these restrictive Mississippi laws concerning beer sales and the strength of beers and how these laws were championed and rewritten.
So kind of like I said, it wasn't probably till I think 2011, 2012 to where they finally raised the ABV from like around 5% up to 10.1.
Okay.
So once that kind of changed, I know that's when Quimby and Ben then kind of teamed up and opened up, Southern Prohibition kind of 2013. But yeah, still at that point, there was no on-site sales. So basically, you would come to the brewery, pay for a tour, and get some tokens, and then at the end of the tour, you could redeem your token for some samples.
Okay.
And then I think it was Raise Your Pints was kind of a grassroots organization that helped then come back and change and actually allow on-site sales and people to have a tap room. Back in I think 2016 was when that finally changed.
Okay, so how did you before then? How did I mean? I guess all your sales had to be through retail or through bars and tap. I mean, obviously, beer could be sold at a bar, right? If you sold your keg to a bar, they could serve it and sell it, but you just couldn't serve it on premise at the brewery itself because that's too close to the stores. They wanted to keep people from just coming in. I mean, what's the difference? What was the difference? I mean, I'm assuming you could drink beer in bars, right, in Mississippi?
Yeah.
Before this, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But what was the problem with you serving it on the premise of the brewery? What was the?
I'm not too sure.
Okay.
On kind of in that. I don't know if they wanted it to go through the distributor to then go out and kind of
Okay.
from that part, and then once they finally decided to do on-site sales. So
Okay.
actually the holdup was
So then right away I'm assuming that they set up bottling or canning lines that were, or just kegging. Were they just kegging beers and sending them out to having distributed out to bars?
No, they were canning also.
Okay.
Small canner. So we started out. We still have we have a 20-barrel brew system.
Wow.
That's what we've been. And they started out with 4 40-barrel fermenters. We're now up to 11 40-barrels fermenters, 80 barrel, and then 210s.
Okay, what's in the 80 all the time?
Mainly crowd control.
Crowd control. You're right. That is
Damn.
your flagship.
Yeah, we mostly on the month, crowd control is like almost or close to half of what we produce each month.
Really?
So yeah, it
Really?
definitely keeps lights on for us.
Okay. Okay. So that's a four brew batch day. Is that done in 2 days? I'm assuming, or
Yeah, we'll split it up and do 2 brews, then come the next day into the next two.
Okay. And fill
And
that.
quick advice, because we only need a 40 barrel pitch, a yeast, so we can just pitch that. We don't got to pitch 80 barrels worth of yeast. We can just pitch 40, and then come the next day, and then just put some more on top. And
Okay. Okay. Nice. All right. That's good. So you guys are definitely putting out some beer. That's good. A lot of volume.
That's impressive though, that the 8% Imperial IPA is like that's the big one. That's what we're going for.
Yeah, we have a 4.5% session IPA called Devil's Harvest, and yeah, just it seems like kind of every year crowd control just kind of takes over a little bit more and more of that volume.
Hey, they like it hoppy and boozy in Mississippi.
Yeah, you got to get your money.
That's right.
Yeah,
Got to
get
make
your
it
money-
count.
That's just it. They were so late to the party that now they're trying to make up for all lost time, right?
Well, it's the kind of crappy part is like they watched all these trends go by and they're like,
Mhm.
all right, well now we can just pick up on the Imperial IPA trend or the double IPA trend and let's run with that one for a while and we'll see what where the rest of them go from there.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
one just came up on 10 years of brewing crowd control for us.
Really?
Oh wow.
So, Bill, you're the production manager at SoPro, correct?
Correct.
So, what are the big responsibilities for you? What's a day in the life look like for you?
Um, Pretty much filling on the brew floor wherever I'm needed. We're a pretty flexible crew here. We have 5 people, including myself, in the production area. 4 of us can do everything from brewing to packaging, so we're pretty nimble that way. But yeah, filling anywhere I need to as far as either brewing, helping cover lunches in the pack hall, dry hopping, fruit and beers, and then other than that, I'll plan out our production kind of for the month as far as what we're brewing, packaging, making sure everything gets packaged for orders for the month, acquiring all our grains and making sure we got yeast and all our supplies on hand. Kind of do our micro lab here. So every beer we plate for micro, make sure we don't have any wild yeast or any kind of contaminants. So if we got anything, we can go ahead and dump it here and it doesn't go out and have to recall anything.
No, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Nothing's worse than getting a lager that's soured. I know from experience. I'm soured on it.
We'll be here all night, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah, helping come out with new beers, new flavors, and then any from there from down to then any maintenance or fixing toilets and kind of just whatever needs to kind of be done around here.
Okay, you're a jack of all trades and manager of all what's coming in and controlled. So what is a typical month of scheduling beers look like? How often, like you mentioned, you do an 80 barrel fermenter of crowd control. Is that a once a month or once every 5 weeks?
Yeah, it's about once a month. We'll normally anywhere from 4 to 5 40 barrels batches of crowd control kind of each month. And then usually Devils will do about 1. Suzy B sometimes we'll do 1 to 2 40 barrel batches. And then we get orders, for Devil or for Dogsmith Time. We'll put that on the schedule. we have our couple 10 barrels. So throughout the year, we'll do some small batches, just for the brewery. So we're typically brewing, at least 2 to 3 times a week.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
So that was my next question was how often you brew? So 2 or 3 times a week. And, but you said you had 11 fermenters that were
yeah, we have 11 40 barrels.
40 barrels. And you're doing, and if you do 80 barrels a week, so you don't always have all your fermenters going then? You just have,
Yeah, we don't use them kind of at the moment. We don't use them all.
okay. So things have slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, so yeah, the past couple of years we've done somewhere between like 4 and 4,500 barrels a year. I know kind of like post COVID 2019,
Yeah.
we're up like around 7 8,000 barrels, and
Oh,
then
wow.
kind of COVID hit, and then kind of slowed that down. And now
Yeah.
the past couple of years, kind of had a little bit of the decline, and kind of less people drinking and that kind of stuff. So
Okay. All right. All right. So, Bill, have you always been the production manager at SoPro, or did you start off something a little bit less than production manager?
yeah, I just started off brewing and packaging,
Okay. And,
and then
and worked your way up.
yeah, we had some people kind of come and go, and some positions kind of open up. So, but yeah, I mean, there's actually two other guys that's been production manager in the past. One of them is now over packaging, so he kind of took over the pack hall and has kind of got that running nice and smooth. There's another guy, he had left and uh, went and did some mushroom grow out, worked at a
Oh,
mushroom grow out facility for a little bit. But then he came back with us. So we've had a lot of guys. I think most people have been here, 2018, 2019. So
long
uh,
time.
yeah,
That's good. That's good. You got your own little family there that sticks around and tight knit. That's good.
Well,
everyone's
do you did you start at other breweries, or has SoPro been your beer home?
I worked part time at one before this. So yeah, before this, I was in Baton Rouge. I was in fisheries research, uh, like aquaculture and whatnot. I
Hmm.
was working at LSU, uh, and then had been homebrewing for 8 or 9 years, and you always kind of had that incline to want to try to do it professionally. And
Mm.
there was a brewery probably about 5 minutes from work that was looking for some part time help, and I kind of applied and uh, worked there 2 to 3 days a week. Kind of in the mornings, it would go to my other job, for the afternoons and whatnot. And then it kind of got to the point where I was wanting to spend more time at the brewery than kind of my other job.
Exactly.
Sounds familiar. Glad to see you're putting that degree to use, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, our buddy John, he was an aerospace engineer, and he decided to leave that to become, to open his own brewery. So, I mean, he likes he likes cleaning toilets and doing a lot of janitor work. Is what he does
Head keg
now.
and bottle washer. That's John Ream.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, people think brewing's all fun, but
Yeah, it's a lot of
25%.
cleaning.
Thanks for
Yeah,
ruining my
25%
dream.
brew. Yeah.
All right, let's go. We'll get into into the brewery now. So we kind of mentioned earlier that it was Quimby who kind of started up with Ben, but can you give us some more details on exactly how Southern Prohibition Brewing got started? Maybe like were there not when he started up, were there a lot of craft breweries back then, or were they one of the first ones in the area, or at least in Mississippi or in the area that decided to go ahead and brew their own beer, even though it was really restrictive? Or so any kind of history you can give us behind the startup of the
Yeah,
brewery.
there was a only other brewery was Lazy Magnolia. They're down in Kill, Mississippi. I think they opened in 2005. Uh,
Okay.
I've had
yeah,
one of their beers. I know that.
yeah, they definitely. I think they only have maybe 2 or 3 kind of beers they mainly produce, and a couple
Okay.
of small projects. But I know they're a big kind of contract brewery now. I think they do some like bottled water and things like
Oh.
that. But yeah, Ben he kind of came up the same way. Couldn't get beer here. Was muling stuff back and forth
Mm.
from states. So then yeah, he got into homebrewing and actually went up north. Did like a brewing uh, program.
Hmm.
Uh, Came back down to Hattiesburg and was going to start kind of looking for jobs. Um, and there was a restaurant in town. It's called Keg and Barrel. They have like 60 taps on right now. Some great food. But at that time, they had a brew pub license. So he started, brewing some small batches for them, selling it out of there. Uh, did that for about a year and a half. And then once, that ABV law changed, he kind of teamed up with Quimby. The building we're in now, Quimby already had that purchased and was just kind of sitting here. Um, it used to be an old furniture shop and warehouse. I think back in like the 40s and 50s. So it's a pretty old building downtown in the downtown area.
Hmm.
Uh, so then yeah, they kind of teamed up and opened up Southern Prohibition.
Okay. Were they friends before? How did they meet? To
Yeah, they were friends before. Exactly how they met, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, they did know each other before
Okay.
kind of starting on here.
And Quimby, he purchased this building because he wanted to open a brewery eventually, or was it just something he had owned and decided to use it as a brewery? Do you know
I think it was his
his
intention to
plan?
open the brewery, but then yeah, at the time, kind of yeah, alcohol laws and
Yeah.
whatnot was kind of up in the air, and then once
Okay.
that changed, they finally went through with it.
Okay.
Crap. Sorry, I was just looking at Lazy Magnolia. Denny, they've got a rye IPA.
I love rye.
Just
I
saying.
love rye. Anything with rye in it and IPAs. Toasted
Yep,
rye IPA. Love toasted rye IPA. Okay.
it was basically Timber Beast and
Yep.
Pecan that they
And two,
brewed.
yes, two different versions of the pecan beer and the
Oh,
Timber
yum.
Beast. Yeah, it's like a pecan brown. Um,
Oh, it's even better. Oh, I
yeah,
love
that's the
brown
one that
so
I had. Matt Griffo, who's on with us, also said that. Bumped into him at the grocery store today. Um,
every episode.
I know it's two in a row now. So he was picking up some Coppertail
Oh,
beers. Anywho,
some Coppertail.
what about I mean, that's we kind of started jumping into the story behind Southern Prohibition. I mean, where'd the name come from?
Yeah, I'm guessing just because yeah, the alcohol laws, and I mean it wasn't even what was it 2013 when they even legalized homebrew in Mississippi.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
You couldn't homebrew until
So
2000.
so
What did you
you're
say,
so you were
13?
you
yeah,
were
legally.
That's
breaking
insane.
the breaking bad with the homebrew situation.
Yeah, yeah, Keg and Barrel, the restaurant I said they haven't done it recently, but for about 10 years they put on a homebrew competition, and yeah, and they called it the Outlaw Homebrew Competition just because you
I
weren't
like that though.
able to homebrew until then. So
Okay,
SWAT
so
teams kicking down everybody's doors, trying to
yeah,
put together
yeah,
a little 1 gallon batch of something in their garage. Yeah, I could see
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Okay, well, so basically, prohibition never stopped in Mississippi for beer related. I guess what it is.
yeah.
So, you mentioned we mentioned Ben Green. I don't know. What can you tell us about Ben Green and his experience with brewing uh, and his involvement in the brewery as well? I mean, I know he's a head brewer, but anything you can tell us about him, just so we understand. Um, you know,
Uh, yeah, I think basically until like a couple years ago, he's pretty much had his hand in every recipe and kind of everything
okay,
they've been brewing. Um, has a lot of knowledge on on the whole brew side and all that all that stuff. So he definitely
and,
kind of taught me some things when I first kind of started and kind of jumping from the home brew to this level, and
mm-hmm.
has really definitely made some good beers, and a lot of them we yeah still produce and
Okay.
and then Yeah. So lately, after COVID, they changed or made a law that if you have a brick and mortar kitchen, you can get a liquor license.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Mm.
yeah, so end of 2021, they shut down the tap room and put in a full kitchen. Uh, and then we kind of opened back up in May of 2022. Uh, and then so he's kind of stepped back a little bit from the brew side and is kind of like big picture now and helping do events and kind of some of the bigger plannings of events and kind of what they're doing in the tap room. But then
Okay.
still, yeah, uh, over kind of some of the yearly stuff we do with different beer releases and recipe input and that kind of things.
Okay. He has kind of lessened up his grip on the recipes, and some of the other brewers are providing some of the input on new brews, or are you just strictly brewing all the stuff you've already brewed?
No, yeah, we come together, and if people have ideas, then
Hmm.
they'll put it together and kind of we'll talk about it and
Hmm.
yeah, put a
Yeah,
recipe together and kind of run it by him and kind of see what he thinks. And uh,
uh, yeah. I heard that the hardest thing for a production manager is to tell the brewers they can't brew something because it costs too much. Is that the problem you have too?
yeah, I'm kind of the number guy. Every recipe I'm putting into the calculator and
Yeah.
looking at all our costs and
Denny, that's kind of like what you do, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, we
Yeah.
can't do this. It's just gonna ruin everything.
Yeah, that is sad because I know these brewers, they probably have some great ideas and that makes some great beers, but it's all about you gotta make money, right? At the end, it may be a great beer, but if you lose money, then it's not a great beer because it just costs you guys a bunch. But
yep.
yeah, I understand that these the you know ingredient. I mean, we haven't talked about ingredients, but you mentioned that you go ahead and figure out all the yeast and malt and stuff. Do you have any? Is your stuff sourced locally? Is there? I don't know about Mississippi. Is there any kind of barley I don't think there's any hops or barley there. So everything comes from outside the state, or how much stuff
Yeah, we
do
do a
you
little bit
procure?
of we've done some small batch like fruit stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, locally we got yeah, they do like peaches, blackberries, blueberries.
Okay.
So last year we did a barrel project, kind of did like a golden base and some second use gin barrels.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, put it in there, put
Nice.
the Brett in there, and then once it was kind of time, yeah, we went out, picked some blueberries and some peaches, and then aged it on there for a little bit and kind of bottled that up. Um, I know we do have a rice farm, I think, kind of up north, and we've gotten like some black rice from them and did
Oh,
kind of yeah, a small scale kind of test with that. But
nice.
no really barley or hops or anything kind of
Yeah.
down here.
What do you put together with with black rice?
We did a lager.
Okay.
Hmm.
But does that affect the color at all?
We were hoping, but it didn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
It didn't really. Yeah, we were hoping to give us some color, but it didn't really attribute too much, unfortunately.
Yeah. 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 That's too bad. We eat black rice is good, but it's a bit too rich to eat in large doses for us. We just mix it in. We do a little mixing of black rice with our other rice because
Like,
it's pretty rich. But yeah, good.
Well, what about Bill, do you guys specialize in any certain type of beer at SoPro?
uh, I know
Are
for
you-
a while we're definitely known for IPAs and sours. Um, kind of, I definitely hazies have definitely kind of moved a little bit slower, kind of recently. But we normally at least have we have our two kind of core IPAs on in the tap room, and then we'll have like a rotating hazy. Um, yeah, crowd control just turned 10 years for us, so we did a big kind of 10% uh,
Oh.
hazy with Citra and crush hops.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I love the crush hops. That's the HBC 3 or
Maybe 5
You
A.
nerd.
five. I
You
know. I'm trying to remember the
nerd. Look
name.
at
It's five
you.
eighty six. I
That's
think you're right. Five.
impressive. That's
No,
awesome.
because I love that. That's like one of my like new hop favorites. I love that hop. Just everything that's made with it. It just tastes great. So that's
It's HBC
five eighty six.
536. It's the
Five eighty
best
six.
hop ever.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
crush. Nice, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Matt Griffo said he used black rice. He's 20% black rice. Yeah, Matt, of course if you're going to use 20% black rice, there's a noticeable color. Good Lord, that's a lot of rice.
Oh yeah, 20%. That's definitely an adjunct to
Got to watch out
lager
for that
there.
black rice.
All right, Chris, go ahead. We already answered the question I was going to ask. You can continue on here.
Oh yeah, we did. We did. What so where we've got dogs manipulating time, Suzy B, and then we've got crowd control. Do you guys have any do your names for your beers come from anywhere in particular? Do you guys just have a bunch of words up on a dartboard and just start throwing? Do you've got a list? Do you play the game like I do and go, that'd be a great beer name? Where do the names come from?
Yeah, we just come together and someone has an idea, then we'll, throw it out there. I have a running list on my phone that, if I think of something, I'll write it down and hopefully to use later.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I think the same thing with, other
I'm,
people.
I mean, we had a beer on the last episode called Sensual Silverback.
Yeah.
I mean,
And,
it's
and what's interesting is that when you hear it, you say, "Well, that's kind of cool," but it was a Bananas Foster's
barrel aged.
barrel aged stout, and so it was a silverback. Brought the bananas into it, right? As a gorilla, bananas,
Yeah.
and it was sensual because they had a picture of the brewer with the silverback, just like right over his back, caressing him. But his name's all like whatever his name is, the beer has something to do with it, which was pretty cool. And the beer was great as well. So it's kind of cool. So for example, crowd control. We know it's your double IPA, double hazy IPA. I picked up on, but why crowd control for that beer? Was there some reasoning why they wanted crowd control?
Uh, I'm not sure. I don't know what came first, either the illustration kind of on there with
I can't show it. It won't show up because my green screen behind me.
So what is the illustration of? Some kind of
Well, I mean, at 8%
kind of,
double IPA, Denny, you're either going to have everybody's just going to chill out and enjoy this 8% beer, or the cops are going to show up and
so it's
have
a
to start
riot. It's like a riot police
controlling the
thing or
crowd.
something.
yeah, it's kind
Yeah.
of like post-apocalypse, got a little gas
Okay.
mask on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
So either calm down, enjoy the beer, or somebody's getting tased.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you already mentioned that you actually shut down the tap room in 2021 to build in a full kitchen, and then was able to open that. So it was great timing during the COVID time frame. I'm not sure how Mississippi was during the pandemic, if they had a lot of shutdowns and you weren't able to have a lot of consumption on premise or not. But it sounds like having that full restaurant. I mean, you mentioned one benefit is then you can have um, uh, hard alcohol as well. But how important is having a full restaurant in a brewery in Mississippi?
I think it's definitely helped us out a lot. Yeah, before this, we're just a bar. People would come here, have a couple beers, and then kind of
And then
move
leave.
on. We did have a food truck outside serving pizzas, so we did have food at that
Hmm.
point. But I mean, now we have people come in, just eat our food, and not even drinking, and then
Oh,
uh, we'll leave. So yeah, they found when they decided to do this, they found a really good chef and put together uh, a nice menu to do a lot of in-house um, stuff. We got a hot chicken sandwich that's a kind of koji. They make their own koji hot sauce, uh,
Nice.
and cut French fries and pickles, and they do a lot of stuff in-house.
Got to go to Mississippi now.
Elevated.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense that if you provide food, then people are going to stay longer because, they feel like if they can eat and drink, then they're not going to get wasted after a beer and have to leave. They can have it soak up a little bit. So yeah, it seems like a good idea. It's good to have a restaurant, but we also hear that it's also a challenge for a lot of breweries that they only know how to brew beer. They don't know how to run a restaurant. What was do you remember any kind of the learning curve to getting that up and going? Was it a challenge for you guys to switch over from a brewery mentality to a food serving mentality, or did you have some help come in that knew how to do it well?
I think we definitely had some help, some little consulting. The chef we brought on has had a lot of experience. He actually, him and someone else that used to work here, they actually have opened up another restaurant, working together. So yeah, I think it was a nice smooth transition. For us, we're just in production, so it wasn't too much of a difference. But they have a really good crew back there.
Yeah, you got to keep the brewers out of the kitchen and keep them up them French fries.
Yeah.
Everybody's stealing the French fries.
Yeah, they have a really good crew back there, and keep things turning. Every so often, they'll come out with some new specials that the chefs and whatnot back there put together. Always a little something different.
Yeah. So your current facility, you only have one location in Hattiesburg. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And that in your current situation, you're able to handle all the amount of people you need. Is there any thoughts of having to expand to a second location?
They have in the past couple of years, they have kind of looked for other locations, but nothing's kind of really worked out, unfortunately. Okay. I know at one point they were kind of looking around Nashville, and then that got too expensive.
Yeah.
Kind of right before the pandemic hit, Quimby partnered up with I think it was a brewer from Other Half, and they had a brewery in New Orleans called All Relations. Unfortunately, they were kind of set up just for on-site, so once COVID kind of hit, they closed down. But we still have the building. Be thinking about opening up a Serpo there, but then kind of after COVID, ingredients costs kind of went up, and he ended up kind of selling that location.
Yeah,
but they definitely are still kind of keeping an eye out for another location to put in the tap room.
Nice.
All right, nice.
Well, Denny, I have the last question. You want to crack this last beer open while I'm asking it?
Yeah. Okay, well, let me introduce the beer.
Okay.
You haven't heard of it yet. This is their Crowd Control double IPA, double hazy IPA, I guess. 8% ABV, 60 IBUs. It says Crowd Control is a dry hop imperial IPA showcasing mosaic hops. Nice. Very good. Solid malt backbone, accompanied by fruity and sticky hop overlay. Contain one. Well, what am I reading? A solid malt backbone accompanied with a fruity and sticky hop overlay contain one another for a great balance of aroma and flavor. Okay, so I'm going to crack this open while Kris reads the last question. And
actually looks kind of cool with all that blacked out behind it.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. All right. So this one's one of those like deep make you think questions, Bill. There's like a couple of breweries in the country now, right? Like 9,000 of them. What's your personal opinion on the state of craft beer, and what trends are you guys either excited about or staying the hell away from?
I guess, definitely. It seems like more people are kind of getting a little more health conscious, drinking a little less. And we're kind of trying to get into a little bit of that. We actually, I've just recently launched some THC seltzers.
All right.
Oh, so, well, wait a minute. You didn't. So you're telling me that THC and marijuana is legal in Mississippi?
Under the hemp farm bill.
Oh, the hemp farm bill, but hemp doesn't have THC in it. So how do you get away with the hemp?
I guess they pull out a little bit. I don't know. Yeah,
We just call it something different.
All right, no problem. Don't worry. Don't get yourself in trouble. It's all good.
it definitely is
Interesting.
a rising kind of market. There's a lot of people, yeah, putting them out there. And then, yeah, it's legal on the federal level. There's some states that have been trying to pass some laws and
Mhm.
whatnot, kind of limit it and whatnot. So it's kind of like an ever-changing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely, trying to expand into, kind of different brands uh, as far as, some non-alcoholic stuff uh, and kind of getting into some of that.
Okay.
But
So not so um so you're looking into producing some non-alcoholic like hop water or NA beer, or what kind of non-alcoholic stuff are you looking at? Oh,
yeah,
besides THC, you said THC, but is there
yeah,
any?
we got the THC. We've been kind of looking at a little bit of some pasteurizers. So
Okay.
we can kind of, depending on how this grows and kind of pull the trigger on that, then we can definitely get into some NA beers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, because um I mean, I'm one of the, believe it or not, I'm one of those people that enjoy the non-alcoholic beers have come a long way in the
Yes.
last 3 years. And I enjoy the taste of beer is why I drink it, not necessarily because it is going to get me wasted. Most of the stuff I drink now is low ABV, just because I'm at an age where I don't need to feel the alcohol all the time. I just want to enjoy the beer, and as long as they're making beers that taste like beer, if it has no alcohol in it, I'm okay. And there are some that are pretty damn close that taste really good, and yet have no alcohol. So I do drink. There's days where especially the days I work out, I don't want to put alcohol back in me because I feel like I just screwed up. I just got done with this nice workout, but now I'm drinking alcohol afterwards. But I do enjoy drinking a good hoppy NA and enjoy that after I get done with the workout. So yeah, so I'm one of those guys that I've tried, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 different NA beers that and no, maybe five of them are up at that level where I say, wow, this is actually tastes like beer and I enjoy it. Black Butte Porter's NA is one of them. It's pretty good. Um, Lagunitas NA IPA and NA Hazy IPA are really good. Fremont Brewing out of Washington State has a really good like citrus hoppy NA beer that tastes just like a session IPA basically. So there's a few that I rate pretty high that I drink quite a bit of.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. It's good that um, yeah. Okay, I guess we answered the question, and we can talk about the beer
We
now.
did. I want to take a sip
Okay.
now. Drinking.
All right. Well, I can smell some tropical citrus aroma. I'm going to talk about the aroma first. And look at the head. The head stuck. I had a two-finger head when I started. It's almost still two-finger. Um, when I poured it, it's still there. Sign of a great beer is that head retention. Just a little bit off-white, tight, tight bubbles with a few coarse ones in there as well. Hazy, as you mentioned, it is a hazy double IPA. And like I said, I get some of that tropical citrus aromas, really nice off the nose. Yeah. Okay. So Kris, you took a sip, right? So talk about the
I
taste.
I did, but I mean, if you got good head, I mean, like good two fingers,
Hmm.
and I mean, you just can't go wrong with that. I don't know.
All right. Wow.
But no, and I, I I love how this is. It's kind of a little bit of both. It's not
Yeah, I
really,
wouldn't call it a hazy.
yeah, it's not really East Coast, but it's kind of
Yeah.
West Coast too. Like it's one of those beers that it's juicy too, but it's got
It's a,
some piney hop bitterness at the end of it too. I really like this. No wonder you guys brew so much of this.
yeah. Yeah. I do appreciate the fact that it does have some bitterness in the finish, because I appreciate the hazies that have that bitter finish, because I enjoy soft, but soft becomes too, it doesn't make me want to drink another beer after I drink it, right? It's too soft. It doesn't have that finishing. It just kind of lingers on, and it's like, I don't know if I want to take another sip right away. So I do like the bitterness at the end. It's got ripe. It's really got some ripe tropical fruit character in there. I do get a little bit of like, I don't want to say astringency, but a little bit of puckering of the, like, you feel like it's drawing out the moisture out of your cheeks. So it does have some hops in there that's doing that. But yeah, it's a good beer. I don't know if I could, this is not one I'm going to drink like a 6-pack, because for one thing, it's 8%. And I also kind of feel that it is a little bit heavier. The other two beers definitely were like lighter on the palate, easy drinking. This one's got heavier body. Definitely the body is heavier, does have some of that astringency, has that nice ripe tropical flavor. And again, like, the head is incredible. I mean, I love a good beer head.
Yeah, it's it's sticking around too. I mean, I've still got the same thing going on mine.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm not drinking like I might get down 2 in a night, but I'm going to be switching to something else because I need to be able to keep drinking. I can feel that this one, I can sense that. Now, it's not, there's no alcohol burn or anything like that, but I just can tell just by the mouthfeel and stuff. I just feel like it's a heavier beer that is a double IPA. It's supposed to be a bit heavier.
Yeah, this is I put in a hell of a day at work, and I'm gonna go put a couple of these down. It's delicious and mind bending.
I'm gonna put a couple of these down, and I'm gonna lay down.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, we actually sell some 19.2s of
really
for gas stations and
oh, it's 19.2 ounces. I was like, you guys do 19% beers?
Stovepipe.
God damn.
No, the stovepipe ones, which are crazy, because that's amazing, is that even here, a lot of those 19.2 cans all have big ABV beers in it. And it's because people want to come buy one beer that's going to last them all night. They don't want to have another beer. I'm going to have one beer a night. It's going to be this big can, and I'm going to feel good afterwards.
Yeah, that's what we do at the gas station near our concert venue. You go grab one of those, and you walk on over. And by the time you're done with it, you can go in and spend $20 on another beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is a good beer. I mean, like I said, I've already drank over half of it. Amazingly, it does go down easier than I thought it was going to go down. It's good. Wow, 3 good beers. My first 3 beers from Mississippi, and I'm impressed. I really have enjoyed all these. You can tell your brewers and Ben that is Tap the Craft approved.
We need a stamp.
Yeah, we need a stamp. Boop. These are good. We didn't talk about artwork. Do you guys have an in-house art design, or how do you guys come up with your artwork for your can labels and stuff? And does that come first and you come with a name, or does the name come first and then the artwork tries to give you something close to what you mean?
Normally the name, and then we kind of get an idea, and then we hand it off to our artist.
Okay.
We have artists who probably 90% of what we've made since opening, he's done for us.
Okay.
He used to be in New Orleans. A couple years later, or a couple years ago, he moved up north. But he's pretty good. He does a little bit of stuff with like Cellar Maker and some of their labels.
Okay.
And whatnot. So yeah, he's pretty good artist. We get a lot of compliments on our labels.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Suzy B. I just noticed that she's got a book of matches. She's leaning outside of a car, a convertible. She's got blonde hair. she's got a book of matches in her hand, and it looks like her hair is on fire. What's the significance of of this?
I don't know. That's definitely been through a few iterations.
Has it?
The one before that, she was kind of on the outside of the car with like a gas can next to her, uh, and whatnot.
That just means she's careless with fire, Denny.
So, yeah. So what? I mean, there's got to be a story behind Suzy B. Who is Suzy B? Is
Do we
this
do
related
we
to
know
some
Suzy B?
type of a person
This
that
an ex-girlfriend?
that's representing?
I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure. We'll have to do this again. Have get Ben on here, and
Okay.
you can tell you
Okay.
the history of some of those a little bit better.
All right. So now looking at the dogs manipulating time, there's two different types of dogs. One looks like a Doberman in a robe, and then the other one looks like a pug.
That's a
Yep.
bulldog, Denny.
Is that a bulldog?
I
That's
think
gotta be
It's a pug.
It's a pug. Oh, see, look at that. It's a pug.
that's a fat pug.
Yeah, you kind
Oh, there's more dogs in the
There's
background too.
all the
So there's
all the
multiple
little
dogs. Okay.
subject dogs.
And then we already talked about the Riot Gear post-apocalyptic crowd control guy. Okay. All right. Well, Bill, man, you did great. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and I hope this wasn't too much stress on you to come on here and fill in for Ben. But you did a great. I just want to let you know you did a great job. You answered all of our questions. I mean, perfectly. I mean, you really did like a pro. The beers you guys are producing, top notch. Really enjoyed all of them. Finish off this last one here in just a minute. What else, Kris?
I was gonna say, how can we find you guys on social medias and websites
Yeah.
and in the interwebs?
Yeah, we got a website, soprobrewing.com. Same thing as Facebook and Instagram. Kind of always posting. We do a good bit of events around here and like kind of different pop-ups as far as food pairings and whatnot. A couple of times a year, we'll do kind of a Taco Bell kind of riff and kind of
Like it.
our own spin on
Nice.
some of the different foods, and we'll do like a Brewha Blast seltzer, which is kind of like a vodka blast, and some different things like that. So yeah,
Oh, nice. Nice. So you also do seltzer then? Is that a big seller for you?
recently it has been. We were just kind of had one on tap in the tap room, and then we actually did a spiked lemonade, and it was doing really well in the tap room. So we put that out in the distro,
Okay.
and kind of now we have a raspberry lemonade and a limeade. Uh,
Oh,
It's
nice.
perfect to kick off summer. And
Yeah.
people can talk smack about seltzers all they want. If you do them right, man, they're perfect for hot weather.
yeah, and then we got them a mix pack, variety mix pack, so you can kind of get all three flavors together.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Bill,
All right.
we really appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out with us. Ben just kind of threw you into the fire and said, good luck. No, man, we appreciate it and you filling in for him, and hopefully, uh, you know, no issues with the new baby coming, and they get to enjoy a
Yeah.
vacation or whatever was going on for them. But it was great to get to learn a little bit about SoPro, enjoy some of the beers, and chat with you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you very much. Make sure you tell Ben thanks for the beers. We really appreciate it. It's always good to be able to, drink a brewery's beers while we talk with them so we can find out more about it. And we really appreciate you guys sent these out to us. So cheers to that.
Yeah.
And look at that. I got you done before the hour and a half, like I
Yeah.
promised. So I hope you have a great evening and able to rest and go home and chill rest of the night.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
All right,
Take
Bill.
care.
Yeah.
That's the button I needed. There we go.
All right.
I
Well,
swear every time we get into Zoom, like the options change.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, wow, some other great beers. I
hmm
really enjoyed these beers, and I think these are my first Mississippi beers. I know you had some Mississippi beers with that
I don't know. Lazy Magnolia,
Lazy
I don't think
Magnolia.
really counts. That like those are I don't know what to compare them to. Like it looks like they make three whole beers, Denny.
Yeah, yeah. He mentioned that they kind of focused on.
It was the rye IPA, the pecan brown, and then the pecan brown with vanilla. So kind of
So
two and a half beers.
yeah, so the two main ones, I'll drink those all day. They sound good.
Yeah.
Maybe you only need 2.5 beers if
Well,
you make the
the
good ones.
the pecan brown was kind of like meh, and when I drank it, I was kind of stumbling through the streets of New Orleans.
Okay,
So,
okay,
but I think I rated it a three-ish. Wasn't something I'd be, gung ho to go get again.
okay. All right, no problem, no problem. Well, Chris, let's just do some housekeeping. We'll
Hmm.
do our. Well, first I want to say we would love to get some feedback from anyone listening, and you can do that easy by just leaving us a voicemail 208-536-3359. Too many numbers because you've been drinking like us tonight and you just can't think about numbers. How about 208-53 oddly? Leave us a voicemail. Let us know what you're drinking, what you like of the show, a topic, whatever you want. Just leave us a voicemail. We'd love to hear you. But I always give you an out. Chris hates it when I do this, but if you are too shy, you can also
You
leave
can
us a
you can drink another beer and
drink another
try
beer
again.
and do it anyway. But you can leave us an email at taptocraft@gmail.com or on Facebook at facebook.com/taptocraft. We do have a webpage at taptocraft.com. And Chris,
Ye-
uh,
I was gonna say you have an
let's
email to answer in our email.
I do, but I didn't want to do it in this show because I
Okay.
think I haven't looked at it yet, but I have a feeling I need to research it more before I answer it. So,
I was it's very robotic.
well, that's Peter. He is
Okay.
robotic.
I'm sorry, Peter, if you hear this, I'm sorry. I hope that's not offensive, but I read it and I was like,
Uh,
what the hell? I'm gonna leave this for
uh,
Denny.
I haven't read it yet, but I know the gist of it because he messaged me that he was sending an email,
Okay.
and so I have an idea, but I I just didn't have time to dig into anything, and so I'll save it for next episode when it's just you
Okay.
and me, and we can go in, and maybe I'll do the brew buzz topic on it.
Well, I
I
did
think it has to do with hops and styles, right?
it's
What hops?
give or take, yeah, kind
Yeah,
of the general idea of it.
yeah,
Um, but uh but yeah, yeah, what send us an email. Send us
yeah.
an
Send
email.
us an email.
Tapthecraft
Tap
at
the craft.
gmail.com.
That's right. That's
Send us a
right. Easy
voicemail,
peasy.
208-536-3359. I mean, it's real easy to get in touch with us or, bump into us at the grocery store or that
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah. It's all yeah, like Matt Griffo.
Matt Griffo said cheers and
Ch- Cheers, of course. All right, Chris. Let's do our new noteworthy.
I got one.
It's been two episodes, and you have one.
Denny, I
You
have
haven't
one.
you haven't drank
You know
anything.
what's weird? I have changed as I've grown into an adult in my 40s now. Um, I get so in my 30s, I got home from work and I was like, man, let's go have a beer. I
You
don't
know it.
I get home now and I'm just like, I don't want beer. I don't know.
What's wrong with you,
I
man?
don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just want to come home, make dinner, and then just relax and chill out for a little bit. But my new and noteworthy is it's a four cap rating, but it's a beer series that always tends to be really, really good. And it's from Coppertail Brewing. It's their Hop Skull series. We're up to number 26 now.
Oh wow.
And Dan Winch said, I hear that. Ha ha. Yeah, Dan, so we don't always want to come home and get a beer. We want to come home, make dinner, and just decompress. But Hop Skull 26 um, was kind of a combination, kind of like crowd control. It was kind of West Coast, but meets East Coast. Like, I wouldn't call it Midwest IPA, like we talked about the last episode, but
Hmm.
just all around a damn good beer. And I love when I can get that Hop Skull series. They're always really
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
They're always really
yeah.
good.
Nice.
Now, you've been putting in some work, and I think part of this was camping trip slash,
Hmm.
hey, I've got these beers to try because
Hmm.
someone sent you some. And then,
Hmm.
well, let's hear about your new note. Well, you know what? Actually, before we jump into that, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, because you always ask me, hey, how are you and what's in your glass? But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
we jump into
I'm
all these
good. I'm
guests.
tired. I'm tired. And you're right. We did just come back from 4 days of camping in the Bend Sisters, Oregon area. We did visit Bend and Sisters and did some drinking.
Okay.
And we, I always, when I go to Bend, I always go to Deschutes because that's like my favorite brewery. I think I love Deschutes. I just drink a lot of stuff. And when you're in Bend, you get the special. They used to call them Bond Street series. Now they call them the Bend Breweries
Mm,
specials that you can't get anywhere else. You can only get them at that tap room. I think they have one, same thing in Portland at the Portland tap room. You
okay.
can only get certain beers there than anywhere else. And so I go there and I just drink the special ones. I don't think I didn't put any of those on my new and noteworthy, but I did enjoy them. I had a brown that I enjoyed, and I had, I don't know, another beer. But let's talk about the other beers that I drank. And then we did get, you're right, I did get some beer mail from my good buddy Alex Fuchs. I'll talk about beers that he sent
Well,
me and Batman Dan
oh, I
as
have one
well.
more question for you.
Yeah.
Did you share the show on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did
I
everybody
shared.
else share the show on Facebook?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if everyone
You
did.
guys should share the show too. That would be helpful for us. We'd
That's
appreciate it.
right. That's right.
So let's hear about some of
All
your
right.
new noteworthies.
Yeah, so let me start with Crux Fermentation Project. I've talked about these guys all the
I
time from
love those
Boise,
guys.
and of all the times I've gone to Bend, I've never gone to Crux. I've always gone to other places. I finally made it to Crux and had a couple beers there. Both were really good, but the one I wanted to talk about that was a little bit up above the other one, just because I didn't want to have too many beers, was the Crux Fermentation Project Crux Capacitor.
Oh, great name.
Yeah, West Coast IPA. American IPA. Wow, what a great beer! I said in my check, I gave it a 4 3/4 cap rating, 4.75. Finally made it to Crux and Bend. Picked out a very tasty West Coast IPA, old school, delicious IPA. I'll tell you what, this Crux Capacitor, fantastic West Coast IPA. I loved it. It was really, really good. Next beer was from one of my beers from my buddy Alex, who brought a beer from Israel. It's the Srigim Tropical Sour. And I had this one a while back. And I say, wow, this is a very refreshing. This is very refreshing with a tropical fruit and citrus tartness. I love this beer. Glad to see Srigim, I can't say the name, making some great beer and doing some outside of the normal styles. Thanks, Alex. 4.5 cap rating. I'll be honest with you. I've never been a huge fan of Belgian IPAs or sour IPAs or,
Yeah, that's one of
certain
those
things
styles that
that,
disappeared.
yeah. But I'll tell you what, this tropical sour. Oh, you know what though? This wasn't an IPA. This was just tropical sour.
Yeah.
I got
You have a
confused.
little too
Uh,
much crowd control?
yeah, I had a little too much crowd control. This is a tropical sour, and I'll tell you what, this beer was fantastic. I gave it a 4.5 cap rating because it truly was good. I was thinking when I was, that's why, you know why I was thinking it was IPA, because when I first poured it, I thought I read it was it's all in Hebrew, right? So it's hard to know what I'm reading. Um,
It's
and
hard
I
to know
thought
what
it,
I'm reading.
yeah,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
thought it was all. I thought it was a tropical. I thought it was a sour IPA, but when I drank it, it was just a tropical sour beer that was done really well. So good. I'm glad that they did some. They get a good beer there. So okay, next one, a Great Notion Brewing collaboration with Ghost Town Brewing, and this is their Knife Hits IPA, and this beer I gave a 4.5 cap rating. If you're not familiar with Ghost Town, it's a California brewery that has won a number of Great American Beer Fest awards for their IPAs. And we all know who Great Notion is, a brewery out of Portland, Oregon, who makes some smoothie sours and some IPAs, hazy IPAs that have a big name. They collaborated together. I gave this a 4.5 cap rating. I said really good West Coast IPA with a bit of dank hop flavor, dry and bitter, but not overly bitter. This beer hits all the right notes for me tonight. 4.5 cap rating. And then the next one from Ben Brewing. This is another one that I got while I was in Oregon this last few days. It's Ben Brewing's Tropic Pines IPA. I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed this beer. And what I said about this one, I gave this a 4.5 cap rating as well. A fine, piney and citrus IPA with subtle tropical citrus notes. Really good. I really, really enjoyed that beer. I had 2 of them. I enjoyed it so much. If I have 2 beers in a row, back to back, that means it's a damn good beer. And then the last beer was from our good buddy, Batman Dan. My very first, finally got to drink a Wicked Weed Brewing beer.
Finally.
It's the Perni-Haze in a North New England IPA. And I gave this a 4.25 cap rating. I said, my first Wicked Weed beer, thanks to Batman Dan. Bright citrus aroma, ripe citrus fruit flavor that is super drinkable. A little candied citrus in there too in the finish. Yummy. Thanks, Dan. So yeah, those are my new and noteworthy.
I don't know if he's still on with us, but he commented 6 minutes ago, so maybe. But yeah.
All right, Kris, we're going to skip the Untapped to Craft because I'm getting tired and have to go pee.
Good.
Are you okay with that?
Most definitely.
All right. Well, we still have a little bit of beer left in. So
you still have a little bit of beer.
It's time to raise our glass and give a toast out to who we'd like to give a toast out to. So who would you like to give a toast out to tonight?
I would love to raise a glass to the folks over at Southern Prohibition Brewing and to Bill Childress for hanging out with us this evening. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. Dan's still with us. Thank you, buddy, for checking in. But guys, thank you so much for sending out these beers to Denny and myself. And it's not always easy to coordinate getting somebody on here and talking, and Bill nailed it, man. And we were glad we were glad he was able to come on and chat with us. So cheers to the folks over at SoPro, and thank you so much for the beers. They were absolutely delicious. Yeah. And Denny, who would you like to raise a glass to this evening?
So I'll raise my glass first to our Patreon toast. Goes out to my buddy Alex Fuchs, I just talked about his beer. Thank you, Alex, all the way over in Israel, and he is part of our Patreon support. So we really appreciate that. I'll also give a toast out to Bill. I mean, he didn't know what to expect. He did do. I will say he said he did some homework and listened to a few of our episodes, so he was prepared for what we do, and I think he handled it really well, and I enjoyed hearing his input on Mississippi beer laws, craft beer in the state, and of course SoPro Brewing. They are brewing some really good beers. All the beers were really good. Even if I sounded like I was a little bit down on this, I'm not that down.
No, really good. It was damn good.
It's just that
mine's gone.
Yeah, it's at the end of the night, and I'm feeling it. So that's the way it rolls. But also, I want to give a toast out to all of our servicemen and women out there who are protecting our freedoms. Thank you for your service, and I hope you're able to return home safely very soon.
Cheers to that. And
you can find the link to SoPro Brewing on our show notes, located on the show post at taptocraft.com.
You did it.
As well as the beers that we drank, the 3 beers tonight. I'll put links to those on there as well. And it is last call, thank goodness, because I'm starting to feel a little bit, and it's time to bring this show to a close. We want to thank you for downloading and listening. We ask you to please tell a friend, and of course, subscribe on your favorite podcast app. And as a reminder, we release a new show every 2 weeks. Now go out there and spread the good word of craft beer.
Cheers.
Cheers.